A small but vocal group gathered on Pacific Avenue for the annual March to End Homelessness, calling on city and county leaders to hear what they have to say.
Our chants were things like stop the sweeps, stop the terror on the streets.
Keith McHenry, co-founder of Food Not Bombs, explained that they had 3 demands: to reopen daytime services at Housing Matters, audit how homeless funding is being spent, and the biggest topic was a push to end the twice-weekly sweeps.
I've lost all my belongings in 13 different sweeps where the police came and took everything.
We have to replace those tents and sleeping bags and tarps often, and it's costing Food Not Bombs between $500 to $1,000 a month to handle the crisis of those people living on the street.
Another big topic was Santa Cruz nonprofit Housing Matters shutting down its day services, which used to provide access to showers and mail. They say they're shifting their focus to permanent housing rather than drop-in services.
The shelter being taken from us was a huge blow, but it's okay. Like we'll rebound from it.
They've disrupted mail service, showers, and all these things, which are adversely affecting the homeless.
In previous years, nonprofits like Housing Matters have helped sponsor the march, with reports estimating a 2023 budget of over $50,000. This year, Food Not Bombs says they put it together for under $300, highlighting a different approach and raising questions about how funding is used.
Millions of dollars comes into Santa Cruz County to help the homeless, but we're not seeing millions of dollars of services for the homeless.
And there's people dying because they don't have a house. They can't keep their stuff safe. They can't keep their family and their children safe.
Nonprofits like Housing Matters say that funding is usually tied to specific programs, and often that gap makes it feel like the money isn't reaching the people. Now, we reached out to Santa Cruz Mayor Fred Keeley for a response. We have not heard back yet. Live in Santa Cruz, I'm Michael Rosales, KSBW, Action News 8.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Michael.
Assignment. Did the editor assign you, or did you pick this?
I pitched this today. Yeah. Weekend bitches are my bitches.
I better interview you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Michael Rosales.
And Michael, you're with a news agency?
Sir, I'm with KSBW Action News 8. We're an NBC and ABC affiliate.
I won't hold that against you. I'll try not to.
Please don't.
So you say that you're here, not because KSBW called you to go, but because you felt this was a worthy objective?
Well, this is very important. What I found specifically interesting about this year's March to End Homelessness is the fact that there was more people, current homeless or formerly homeless people behind the push today. And also...
However small the number.
Smaller numbers, but also they were working off of a smaller budget. I was talking to Keith who mentioned that I believe 2023, they had a $50,000 to $70,000 budget for the March. That could have went to homeless services.
Not to mention the $4 million they're spending on sweeps.
Exactly. So the fact that today was organized with $300, I think is amazing. And more of that money could go towards services that actually benefit the people out there.
That was Keith's point, of course, in doing the protest. Where are you? KSBW is located in Monterey, Salinas.
Yeah, so our station is in Salinas, but we cover Santa Cruz County, San Benito County, and Monterey County.
And where do you live yourself?
I personally live in Salinas. I'm the unofficial Santa Cruz reporter. I'm originally from Colorado, so when I moved over here, I chose Salinas just because of its proximity to the station. Now I kind of wish I was in Santa Cruz County. Expensive,
you could pay
obviously.
3 times as much and move to Santa Cruz.
I don't know if I could afford it, but I'm always up here. I love the community here. I'm constantly telling stories.
Now, have you met this individual before?
Absolutely. I know Wes. I see him a lot at important events.
When you hear him,
like
you immediately hang up, or do you rush over to the event, or do you do something in between?
No, I enjoy when I see Wes. I see him, and I love that he's always filming. He's documenting the world.
Is he able to draw you as KSBW to events?
Sorry, what was that?
Does he draw you to the events and he videos from his John Doe 13K channel?
There's been a few times where I've looked at your YouTube channel. I'm like, there's a story there. There's something to dig into.
And did you ever follow up on any of that?
Sometimes I do get a little too busy. I personally haven't with Wes' channel.
I appreciate your candor, and forgive me for being very specific.
No, you're fine.
Because you can get a lot of bullshit from people who are in paid positions. I'm not saying you or you.
When you're ready. Absolutely.
And I will let you talk to what may be a genuine homeless person, which I'm not. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Wes, is there something you'd like? Mike, is Mike?
Yeah, Michael.
Michael to cover. Anything coming up in Salinas that you think is important?
Well, I guess I will mention that just earlier this week I was at the 4-H subcommittee meeting for Monterey County, which includes now Kate Daniels and Glenn Church. I made a public comment, and Supervisor Daniels asked for it to be implemented in their policies. So if you could follow up on that story, that'd be great. Yeah, because a lot of it, I guess my main focus, I'm like, my spiel, but at the same time, I was saying, you should include questions like, how many times have people been pushed off or told to go, evicted, swept, and how much does that cost them over that time period? How much is it about to cost them right now for being evicted right now? And how much is it going to cost for them to replace everything they just lost? We had shelter in place, and people actually had an address at that point, even though unofficially. But if you're live on paper, you got a lot more standing. Just the same way. Oh, you have to make this amount of income, or we can't help you. So I put those in. So if you had an address, you'd be able to register to vote and also run for office, which would include and make more breadth of issue, and not just business based, but people based.
If there were anyone to vote for.
Great. Awesome. That was great. Thank you.
Michael, let me know if you get any answers, or if you actually even ask the questions.
Absolutely.
I will assume you didn't until you do, but if you do, I would glad to hear from you about it.
Absolutely. Your number's here.